Okay, we are going to talk some Pinterest in here, which I am super fired up and excited about because a lot of us probably thought Pinterest went away or slowed down, and Lauren is going to come radically change our perception of that. So let me tell you a little bit about Lauren. She is the founder of Mongoose Media. She's a former innovative producer for Walt Disney's in-house agency, which is absolutely amazing. Coming from LA, I know how powerful Disney's can be. She started and owns an award-winning agency, growing dozens of brands from 0 to 100,000 followers or views on Pinterest in under 90 days, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Woohoo! Right? She's a coach for digital marketers M3 Mastermind, which is, anybody in here part of M3? Okay, so you guys know that Lauren, she's absolutely awesome. So she's part of that. She's a regular guest on Perpetual Traffic, which is one of the world's leading top business traffic podcasts on the planet, which is awesome. I know that Kasim was in here yesterday as one of the hosts as well. She's the first ever Pinterest-based finalist for a Shorty Award. And unfortunately, she's going to go really fast and probably won't have a lot of time at the end of this for Q&A. But if you want to chase her down, she's going to try to pee and get to the main stage within 15 minutes. So as soon as she gets off stage here, we're going to grab her microphone, grab her clicker. We're going to kind of get her out of here. She's going to go get set up. She's on the Wicked Smart panel in the main room right after this. So you can go get your double dose of Lauren straight back to back. So you guys, here's the deal. She's super energetic. She's going to give you the energy that you give her. So would you guys please scream, yell, whoop, do whatever we do as practitioners to help me bring Miss Lauren Petrullo to the stage.
I'm going too slow. I'm sorry. I should have started sooner. Thank you, thank you. Yes, M3. Amazing. Thank you so much for that introduction, and everyone that's in the room. I'm very excited that you're here. I'm sure many of you are like, as he said, Pinterest is super irrelevant. Does this matter for my business? I'm not in the wedding space. I'm not in the DIY home goods space. So why does Pinterest matter to me? Well, I'm here to tell you that success at the end of this presentation looks like a radically changed opinion where you're like, holy smokes, I have been sleeping on a platform where 450 million prospects are desperate for content, and Pinterest is rewarding the shoddiest of material with great opportunity for you, your clients, and all the laziest of marketers. So, in this game, you will know that there's a lot of buttons. We have about 90 slides to cover in 45 minutes. So my thumb is going to get a solid workout here. But I do want to be super honest and super transparent. This is going to be the shittiest presentation you will see in the entire traffic and conversions events. And that's specifically because these are all Schitt's Creek's references. So if you're not a fan of Schitt's Creek, well, my hour, my rules, so suck it up. How you're going to get the most out of the next 40 minutes-ish of this presentation is that these slides are available on the recording. There are a lot. This is divided into 3 types of sections. There's traffic acquisition, subscriber acquisition, and then conversion opportunities related to Pinterest. So if you are taking notes, those are the 3 top lines that you'd want to follow along with. The first part is going to be the bulk of our presentation, and it's going to provide us how you can get an avalanche of traffic to your products and services, to your clients, and really build upon your existing marketing campaigns. Full disclosure, Pinterest, in my opinion, is not the place you start your marketing. It's the place that you add fuel and accelerate your existing marketing efforts for an ample amount of opportunity with a greater return than you can imagine. Too long, don't read. You have other presentations to get to. Small fun facts, Pinterest CPMs are about 69 cents to $2. So for those that are running ads on other channels, I'm just inviting you to understand the impact of Pinterest on the paid side, but you can get the same results in your organic efforts. So if you've been watching Christine's presentation, Kasim's presentation, Ralph's presentation, where they're talking about how data sucks and how the importance of marketing all across the different channels really matters for your money in, money out, bottom line revenue, Pinterest is a really, really good cog in the wheel to add to your marketing efforts, but not where I'd recommend that you start. Why? Because Pinterest is where you're gonna find your customers 6 to 9 weeks before any of your competitors can even get in front of them. Pinterest is a place for discovery, so they're looking at the content on Pinterest months before they're ready to make a purchase. But how many of those folks are purchasing? 90%. When Pinterest surveyed users across the global marketplace, 90% of people that started a project, I can speak English. 90% of people that were searching on Pinterest to do a project or to purchase a product for a solution finished and started. So 90% of people are buying what they're searching for on Pinterest, 90% of people are starting the projects that they're searching for on Pinterest. Also, your Pinterest audience, the majority of your Pinterest users have over $100,000 annual income. It is a very powerful platform that has 450 million prospects that your competitors are not going after. Just quick in the room, how many people are using Pinterest right now for their businesses? Oh, yes! So much more than I expected. Well done, non-ignorant humans. Everyone else? You see, there's other people that can speak to it. A lot of what we're going to be showing today are case studies of what we've taken in 90 days from existing Pinterest users because they're not following pretty basic formula. So if you're existing Pinterest users and brand experts, there's probably a lot of stuff here that you can follow in our formula that can make sure that you're really accelerating and capturing the attention and subscriber customer acquisition available to you on Pinterest. And when we go through all of this at the end, we all know there's a QR code, there's a starter kit on there where if you take everything and didn't finish writing all your notes, it's literally hand delivered to you. You're gonna get all of our ChatGPT prompts for successful descriptions. You're gonna get templates of pins that we have optimized and tested against, all the boards. It's a buttload of stuff. So if you stay to the end, I promise it's worth it, and if it's not worth it for you, my name is Kaf Muslim. If it is worth it, I'm Lauren. So these are the 3 takeaways that you will walk away with. Pinterest can bring you an avalanche of traffic. Pinterest is a really low lift in terms of amount of effort you can do and have a really lasting impact to what you're achieving with all of the content you're posting, and that with our proven formula, predictable success allows you to get not just views, but subscriber and customers acquired to your brand or your clients. So hopefully you all follow into this and are like, wow, I really have been sleeping on Pinterest. And yeah, so again, table of contents, my hour, my rules, right? The 3 parts that we discussed about. Oh, I'm clicking too fast. And then in case anyone falls asleep, we will have a slumber summary or cat nap chronicles to regale everything really quickly and as fast as I can. So for my hour, my rules, I am boss, you are welcome. Part of this is I am going to recommend that you take notes by section and bribe people for better participation. Part of that bribing is if you are able to do some social media engagement, hashtag TCS24 and tag either myself directly or mongoosemedia.us on Twitter or Instagram, I will be giving away 1 participant 3 full months of completely done for you Pinterest services for either yourself or a client of yours. You can white label it completely, but all of this is for you. So I'm not above bribing. I had many siblings. I know that's how work got done in my house. So without further ado, we'll get this party started. So part 1 about bringing an avalanche of traffic to your accounts. So what can Pinterest do specifically for your brands? There's 3 categories that we're going to sum this up essentially into this, but for most of you that aren't using it, that's so cute. Like, I won't judge you now, but in a year from now, if you haven't touched Pinterest, even bringing that old content that you had a VA do 5 years ago on Facebook and Instagram, that stuff that just sat there and got nothing, all that effort that was made, all the money that was spent and got slept on and got crickets, if at least nothing else, you don't bring those onto the platform and see the amount of traffic you can generate from old, outdated content, and I see you next year, oh, I will judge you very hard. But for now, it's okay. So the 3 things that Pinterest can do when bringing an avalanche of traffic is it can foster an audience interaction by directing users to your website or products. A lot of us, I'm sure, are using Instagram and TikToks and all the other social media ones that our kids or the youngins or the ones that we're most familiar with are, and we know they are saying stay on platform, right? Don't leave. You'll mess up the algorithm. Subscribe, follow for more, keep watching more videos. Pinterest is actually the only social media provider that encourages you to get people off of Pinterest and do something. Start the project, make that purchase. You are rewarded algorithmically by encouraging them to take action. It also greatly increases your visibility on Google. I'm sure there's a bunch of SEO folks in the house and are familiar. Yes, I have an abundantly exciting yes, Dan. She has a prettier jacket. It's yellow and it's beautiful, so I'm feeling this vibe. But for the SEO folks, you know that the Pinterest content you're putting up is not just valuable for Pinterest.com, it's valuable for your website because it's being indexed on Google and you're getting that visibility off of Pinterest. And the great fun fact about that is Pinterest posts last 1,200 times longer than most other social media posts. A tweet can last 18 minutes, a Facebook post can last 4 hours on average, an Instagram post is 2 days. A Pinterest post on average lasts 6+ months. So content that you're creating today may continue for visibility actively for the next 6 to 12 months. We're going to show you in detail examples of pins that are generating traffic 5 years later. Can anyone imagine content that you put your blood, heart, and soul into, especially when you launched a new client or a brand and you spent so much time pre-Canva days and no one saw any of that attention? But imagine that really great crafted organic social media post continued to generate traffic and engagement and awareness for your brands months or even years later. Pinterest is the intersection of social media and search engine. It's the largest visual search engine, and it's also the laziest social media platform. What do I mean by this is that Pinterest is the most unsocial social media platform with no DM management, without any comments you have to reply to. You don't have to have a dedicated staff member monitoring the engagement on Pinterest. You put that content out there for the world to consume, and they will engage with each other. Another great part of that is with Pinterest, they are not expecting to connect with the brands. They're building their own community. It's a safe space of a social media platform where a lot of the users are not active on the other social media platforms we're spending most of our time and energy on. We know that people are afraid of Meta. They're afraid of their devices listening to them. They're afraid of all the data that they're providing the social media platforms. Pinterest offers a safer, perceived safer space so that people can connect with those of like interests and engage with each other, not with the brand, because they're not here to connect with the brand. They're here to connect with each other, to start projects, and to find solutions to what they're looking for. Fun fact, by the way, 97% of all searches on Pinterest are non-branded. So all the content that you're creating, the solutions you're providing, people are looking for that and don't care who or what the solution is because it's non-branded. 97% are non-branded, which means you only have to worry about 3% of the competition. That's unparalleled on any other platform. So we'd go a little bit deeper on how you can foster the audience interactions and directing users directly to the website for your products and services. We're going to show a host of different things of what Pinterest can do and how it can generate traffic. So we're going to show, obviously, a juggernaut of a brand. We've got Sephora. Everyone in the room here, I'm sure, is super familiar with Sephora. Either you shop there or you've seen the receipts of your partner or loved one shopping there. They've got, what, 10, I have contacts on, but 10 million something followers. And the amount of engagement that they have for a pin that's over 40 weeks old is having parity with a pin for an unknown beauty brand within 7 days. You have the opportunity to connect and take over these juggernaut brands on Pinterest because they are not following a really simple formula, which we'll go over later, and you're going to get all the details in the QR code, assuming you stay till the end, because I'm just that fabulous. I have to keep clicking, sorry. So here's like other examples. We know that followers are vanity metrics. It's the least important thing, but we're going to use it because that's the language we all speak. It's the common language of followers make a difference, but truly it's the engagement. And so you can see with Malibu Rum and 40,000 plus followers, they have minimal engagement in respect to a very small beverage brand. This beverage brand, you can look at the 83 hearts, like those are the likes and engagements, and then compare it to how much external traffic and actual engagement that matters to your Pinterest efforts. It's greater parity. You have 91 pin clicks, 62 saves compared to 83. So you can take that as like a base note and measurement when you're looking at other pins. How is that performing? But a lot of us are not here in the wedding space, the food space, the obvious ones. Pinterest for the non-obvious brands is really the greatest opportunity. If you're in the obvious space, it's obvious you're supposed to be on Pinterest. You know if you're in weddings, if you know you're catering to the market of planning, because most of us, I assume, think that Pinterest is mostly women. Does anyone here think Pinterest is not mostly women? Oh, okay. You just don't want me to prove you wrong. Pinterest is actually only 60% women, which means 40% of that are people that are desperate for content because everyone assumes it's only weddings and recipes available on Pinterest. If you're in a non-obvious category, the amount of opportunity is painfully ridiculous. Whether you're in the B2B space, water filtration, if you're in the auto mechanic space, if you're providing local services, you can have content on Pinterest that will provide greater engagement than most of the other content you're providing on social media platforms. But again, start on the other ones and bring it to Pinterest. You'll get to spend maybe 10% more effort for 50 to 100% more opportunity, and you'll actually see, oh, it's not crickets, but kind of crushing it. So looking at all these different examples for non-obvious, that was a B2B white label provider who's in the audience in case he's a client. If you don't believe me, you can bother Damien because he pays me to do all this stuff, so you don't have to just trust my words, you can trust his. Here we've got, this is one of ours, for example, a blog that we're sending traffic to. The reason why this was more successful than a brand with 7,000 followers, and they are doing a lot on Pinterest, just not doing it very well, is that we follow our formula, and this has generated a bunch of visibility to us. And again, this is within a few days of posting this content. More examples, our favorite marketing podcast ever in the world, the most handsome and not 6'4" Ralph Burns. We were doing those pins for perpetual traffic, and we can see in the comparison of Jay Shetty and Elliot Page, two celebrities, two people with a lot more brand exposure. I mean, everyone in the room is more familiar with Ralph Burns. He's well known in our industry for sure, and to his family, but outside of this room, outside of his living community, not as big as Elliot Page or Jay Shetty, I imagine. It's quite all right, okay. I'm here to just heckle on you. My hour, my rules. Yeah, you're not doing a very good job of heckling me back. So in this, it's just you have so much ample opportunity to come after these juggernaut of brands, because while they're getting successful exposure because they're doing something where a lot of us aren't even doing that minimum standard, it's our simple formula has allowed us to capture predictable amounts of reach and success that doesn't just translate to vanity metrics on platform, but is actually subscribers and conversions that we can see later, outbound clicks where people will get to your website, because the whole point of the content is to get them to a larger part of the story. Your content is like the movie trailer, but you need them to buy a ticket to see the whole movie, to see how it ends, so that they can then win awards, Oscars, and fail miserably at comedy jokes that Joy Coy did. I didn't pay attention to that conversation well. But again, other examples, so like Gabby Bernstein, a lot of us know Gabby Bernstein. She has a lot of high ticket items and courses. Here is a course education platform that specifically and only speaks to therapists. We've generated a lot of traffic on Pinterest by just simple formulas of how you can have an optimized pin. And all of that in tactical detail is in that QR code that you're gonna get at the end. My goal of this section is at least to prove to you that Pinterest has so much opportunity that if you're sleeping on it, cool. I'm not going to judge you till next year because then you really slept on it. But besides the amount of traffic that you can get to your website, it's going to increase your visibility on Google. And again, rather than just telling you, I'm going to show you. So here you can see that Pinterest is ranking on Google and showing up, but also going inside Ahrefs, you can see that Pinterest is generating these high authority clicks. Like they're taking their Pinterest.Japan, Pinterest.Australia, they're taking their content, they're curating all of the pins because they want to show your content to the world. They are doing what you wish your friends would do, that you wish your family members would do. Show off my content, share it, please, 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 please. Tell more people. Pinterest is doing that for you. And they're doing it in a way that they're providing quality backlinks to your website. And this is just examples after examples and after examples of external traffic where Pinterest is helping you rank on Google. So isn't it nice when your social media posts do more for you than what your VAs are sometimes doing? It's nice when the Pinterest posts work for you. So you can also see that Pinterest will allow you to boost your brand's exposure with captivating visuals and strategic planning. If you take nothing away, just know that to be very impactful on Pinterest, to generate up to 100,000 monthly recurring views to your website within 90 days, to generate thousands and thousands of clicks to your website every single week. It's compounded with consistency. Pinterest will reward you with consistency. So the numbers I'm going to be showing you is what we've achieved within the first 90 days. What you can achieve after 6 months, after 1 year, after 2 years almost feels like it's not fair, because we know your competitors aren't doing it, and because it just compounds with consistent quality traffic. So going into the specific, because it's a visual platform, we know that the higher quality images we've seen perform better. Better quality content in general is consumed at a much higher consumption rate, but we are still seeing the shoddiest, repeated, same old, stale stock photos still generate thousands of clicks to your website year over year, because at least you're doing something. And the Pinterest platform is so desperate for content, so desperate for any supply with the demand so high that they will take it. But if you have the ability to provide higher quality images, higher quality videos, you are going to dominate in an even better way. But you can be lazy, you can repurpose stuff that got crickets that you invested and still see a bang for your buck, but the higher the quality, the stronger the return. We all know that, we're all marketers. But I just want to show you some examples of content decay. So specifically, we have Ticketmaster. If you look, Ticketmaster hasn't posted a pin in over 5 years, but still look at the amount of traffic and visibility that that is generating for their brand. They haven't done anything in 5 years. And they're still generating that much attention from the efforts that they had made years ago. With Costco, same thing. They have a strong presence on Instagram, and they're taking that content and repurposing it back onto Pinterest, where they're getting 5 times the monthly recurring views. Simply by taking and repurposing, content syndicating what they have on Instagram and bringing it to Pinterest. Similar with Oprah. She hasn't done anything in a minute, and she's still generating, what is it? I think it's like 10 plus. Oh no, she's getting a few 100,000 monthly views. Again, lazy marketing. If you don't do anything, you can do it now and you'll still generate attention because it's keyword based. Anyone here that does Amazon knows keywords are life. Especially if you're SEO, you know that keywords is a really big part of it. Pinterest is the intersection of search engines and social media, so you can still get attention well and long between. 5 years since McDonald's has done anything and over 10 million monthly views. It's ridiculous. They're not doing anything and they're still getting all this attention. Like, it doesn't seem fair. You make so much effort on Instagram and no one cares. On Pinterest, they still do. Even TikTok, a lot of us are doing TikTok and they're present on social media. TikTok, this behemoth of a giant, they're making efforts, of course, to post on Pinterest because they know the power of this social media engine. Hopefully, at least now, you're believing me a little bit more about how many businesses are missing out on the power of Pinterest benefits. So, how much traffic is currently flowing to your various websites? What different sources are you potentially tapping out on? Especially for the brands that are hitting a ceiling on their Facebook ads. They can't accelerate to, $5,000 a day of ads. They keep feeling that it's not letting me expand further. Pinterest is literally a really great tool if you're evaluating what to do next. You have YouTube, of course, and then Pinterest is a really, really, really good channel, which you can do with minimal effort. And the fact is that most businesses aren't fully using it. So here we're going to show you, again, results that we achieved in 90 days, just in 90 days with before and afters. So hopefully these numbers, again, will continue to explain what we've seen with just 90 days of performance. And I'm telling you, the 6-month mark, the 2-year mark has a much stronger impact to what you're going to see with the results. But this is just your quick win. Who doesn't want a quick win of going from 78 engagements to 13,000 in 90 days, repurposing content? This isn't like dedicating a full day every day for 90 days. This is the laziest way to do it. You take your existing Facebook posts, you take your existing Instagram content, you bring it onto the platform, you optimize it minimally, and I'm saying it's 10 max. 15% more effort for the existing social media posts that you're doing for, 6,000% more effort for more engagement. Your total audience grows from 1,000, 2,000 to 65,000. But we can keep going. We can keep going. We have multiple podcasts that we run this for. Total audience size grows from 252 to 93,000. For those that are in high ticket sales, before, 662 impressions, 53 outbound clicks? Who wouldn't want 10,000 outbound clicks to your website without paying $1 in paid ads? This is for high ticket sales, non-obvious client that would be present on Pinterest. E-commerce, side note, for e-commerce brands, especially those with Amazon, there's a really good cooperation that's been discussed since April last year, where Amazon is connecting with Pinterest, its uniqueness as a social media platform, while everyone is focusing on like the TikTok, the Instagram stuff. Amazon is doubling down on their connection with Pinterest. So my crystal ball assumption is that you'll be able to buy directly with Amazon Prime from Pinterest. So those that are in the Amazon space, especially if you're white labeling, you're selling a product that looks like 6,000 other listings, you get ahead of your audience 6 to 9 weeks before they're even considering which product to buy. When I would do marketing for the largest universities in the US, the fact of the matter was that we would spend more money on the 16 to 18-year-old audience than those that were over 20. Why? Because if we could get into their top 3, we knew that we had a chance of selling them a Pepperdine degree, a University of Florida degree. We would spend more money on that younger audience because if we could get ahead of our competitors, they weren't even considered because kids took 3, max 5 number of schools for consideration, and these are large, expensive degrees. So Pinterest is a really great place because you're 6 to 9 weeks out. Want to be super ninja tactics about it? You go to trends.pinterest.com and it will tell you verbatim what is trending right now, what content they want you to post. And what's great about that in the super ninja tactic is they're telling you now, 6 to 9 weeks out, what is going to be relevant on Instagram in 2 months. So October, all Christmas is trending on Pinterest. You can't get enough. Christmas starts in October for Pinterest. Wouldn't it be great if you created all your Christmas and December content months before so that you can actually take a vacation and then continue to see the results of your success a year or 2 later, because Christmas happens every year and people still want to see and consume that content. More examples of this is an example in the food space. Again, going from 23 saves, love the number, Michael Jordan from the city of Chicago, but nearly 4,000 sounds a lot better. And those saves are they're pinning them, they're saving them to their profiles, and they're reviewing them again and again and again. And because it's a community social platform, they're not engaging with you directly. They're engaging with the other folks that are super excited what they have to see. So they become these like little evangelists, little affiliate marketers that are like, hey, look at this. This is so cool. We want to show you and tell you more. Example with the jewelry space. When these click. We had 0 outbound clicks, and within 90 days, 3,400 product page visits. All of the pins were going specifically to different necklaces and earrings that this client carried. They were getting 0 outbound clicks, but had a presence on Pinterest before we started. But it wasn't really doing too much. So if you don't believe in what Pinterest can do for you, I get it. Like, okay. Like, there's so many other conferences, stuff that's happening right now. Like, I can't help you. I'm not your mother. I'm not going to hold your hand. But it's worked for others, and it definitely can work for you. Again, 97% of the searches are unbranded. If you have a solution to a problem, people are seeking it, and they're using the search engine platform on Pinterest. 450 million active users is 3 times larger than the number of active users on LinkedIn. So going into like what our winning formula specifically is on Pinterest, which by the way, I'm like really excited. I'm like flying through a lot of these slides because I was super nervous. It was too much. So fingers crossed we have time for Q&A. Oh no, that's a countdown? Oh darn, never mind. Maybe, we'll see. I was like, wow, I have so much time. No, that's going, I'm blunt, it's okay. So specifically in our winning formula for Pinterest, it is visual discovery. So the better your images are optimized, even if you're using stock footage, the more success you'll have. Really quick hat tip, make sure your URL is on every pin. These are branded, hello Casa. I made fun of you earlier, you weren't here. I'll have to do it again later. But make sure all of the pictures have your URL. They have your logo. They get shared and they live in your customers and prospects folders for people to keep looking at. It's like free digital stickers. So add your URL to it. Don't do all the like /free ebook and then have Steve Sims' face on it because you didn't optimize your SEO stuff in your QR code. But put like, you know, mongoosemedia.us or solutions8.com. Have your optimized description. So the optimized descriptions comes in with a keyword. Is anyone here investing into keyword-based tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, Atlas, all that jazz? Okay, people are not comfortable saying how much they're spending on SEO tools. It's a lot. My bill's $2,000 a month. It's expensive. But you know how much I spend on search engine tools for Pinterest? Whole $0. You don't need to use any fancy SEO tools to find the keywords for Pinterest. It's predictive search. You just go into the bar, type the product, the problem, or the solution that you have, and then see all of the keywords and all of the phrases that are showing up. That's what you put into your pins, your titles, your images, and your descriptions. So if you have 5 seconds to type in what your pin is about, you have the chance to get rankable content on Pinterest. Also, again, in the laziest fashion whatsoever, I'm sure many of us in the room have a blog. Maybe we've posted once, maybe we've posted a bunch. If your blog has at least 1 image, and you have the Chrome extension from Pinterest, again, in that we are desperate for content, the supply is so minimal and demand is so high. If you right-click on the image of a blog, with the Chrome extension, Pinterest will create rich pins for you. They are doing the work so that you can be lazy, so that you can at least provide content to their desperate consumers. Anyone here have a product display page? E-commerce brands that at least has a picture or it's not showing up on shops. You can right-click on the picture of the Chrome extension and they will create pins for your product for you. Even if you don't want to optimize it and make those changes, even if you don't want to spend 5 seconds looking in the Pinterest search bar of soap and all of the related searches that show up, you are still going to get visibility because the platform is that desperate. Using strategic pinning with consistency, I said again, if you take nothing else, compounding with consistency matters. Pinterest rewards you for your continued effort. You show up again and again and again, Pinterest will compound it back and reward you. But if you post 200 pins 1 week and then disappear for 2 months, you'll be like all the other brands I showed you that are not doing a very good job at what they're doing. But if you post once a week consistently for 2 months, 3 times a week consistently for 3 months, you are going to see this avalanche of visibility and traffic that Pinterest is going to continue to reward you. Having direct linking. Connect, you have a URL. You'll be able to track and measure the number of outbound clicks from your content. You don't get to see any of that on other social media sites. You're going to see how many people clicked on your pins because you provide them the URL. We all want to provide the URLs on our Instagram posts. We wish we could. Link in bio. Click this link in the story. You're giving them the direct link and then your picture itself is clickable, so you're driving outbound traffic because your pins become the teaser and your website is the film that they want to actually buy tickets for. And then also because of Pinterest Analytics, like all of them, they have tags, Cossum and Ralph will say like, all that stuff is BS, what 30%, blah, blah, blah. But it's still way more information than you're getting from all the other social media platforms telling you which pins are converting well. Trends.pinterest.com, they're giving it to you on a silver platter. What content is trending this week? If you have clients in the Amazon space, if you have products you're looking at introducing, you can go and you can see what's trending. You can put together product research that doesn't cost you anything but 5 minutes and a free website because it's pulling in all this, and you can do it by region. You can see in the US, in Canada, Australia, all the different areas that your clients are providing services and products to, which products people are desperately searching for. So, this is how we will eat Super Bowl budget brands for lunch, and all the specifics that I just went through with the formula is in the QR code. We have templates, we have all the exact prompts that we use, we have about 15 different industries with verbatim insights that we pulled from Pinterest of how large the audience size, what the competition is, some of the best examples for that industry. So all of that is going to be there and available for you. So, woohoo! Part 1 is done. I told you it's the bulk of it. So we're going to fly through this, and then in theory, you can stop there, but who cares? This is not just traffic conference, it's traffic and conversions. So congratulations, everyone that didn't leave. I'm not that boring, at least. And we're going to go into the subscriber component. So how does Pinterest really matter if it's not just traffic? You want those folks to be subscribers. You want them to be marketing qualified leads that get to your website. You don't want just trash leads. That's so boring. So here is the quicker part. These slides are much faster, I promise. But we're going to talk about converting that traffic into subscribers. We know that brand awareness is key to growing, but at some point, you've got to bring in money. So we know, yes, we love traffic, top of funnel building, but not all traffic is created equal. We know this. This Pinterest traffic largely is 6 to 9 weeks. They are searching for solutions before they even know what they want to solve for. You've got clients in the back pain space, fantastic. They don't even know what is contributing to them, and they're open to acupuncturists, to exercises, to surgery. They don't know what solution to provide or to find for because they're just starting their phase. But the fun fact is that like humans that search on Google because they're like solution ready are also the same people that are on Pinterest. It's not like new humans are made that only search on Google. The same as you're using interruptive marketing on Facebook. You still get to interact with all those customers because they are on Pinterest. And again, many of them are not on the other social media platforms because they feel fearful of all the content that they're generating against them for data privacy issues on the other platforms. So having not all content created equal means that talking to your audience on Pinterest is not the same. A lot of people will have a discount, especially for the e-commerce brands, when they get to the website. Get 10% off your first order. Take $15 off. These are people that don't even know you. They don't care about saving money because they're not going to give you any money to begin with. Same with services like book a call. Who are you? You just told me you have great solutions. Tell me a little bit more about you. We know that value in advance content is relevant. So skip this discount dumb stuff, and provide them value in content. By the way, inside the starter kit, we list all the different lead magnets that we have tested extensively that generate higher subscriber rate returns for Pinterest. So that's all like literally in for you in the QR code. But this is a really cool ninja-ish tactic that we have found super successful. Instead of asking people to spend money, we actually give it away first. So we give away the money by finding people that are super interested in our content because we know that they're friends, probably like the same content. And we say, hey, you love this, right, Gabe? Oh my gosh, want $10 for free? Here's not $15 off an $80 purchase, not $26 off $2,000. No, here's free to spend. Don't take out your credit card. Here's $10, here's $20, and you're gonna give $20 to your friend who actually likes this content as well. We have seen this work really, really well for our Pinterest folks to subscribe to because they like free money. They don't like obligations. They don't want to be expected to do something in return to earn. You haven't earned their attention, but here you're just giving away stuff so they will be your social warriors and share it tenfold. So we use Revo specifically as the software, and there's like 2 months free also because this works really well for us. But essentially, we take the traffic from Pinterest, we provide them a valuable lead magnet specifically to early in their stage. You can have custom lead forms on your website based on referral source of traffic. So if you know they're 6 to 9 weeks out and you provide them a solution that talks more about the problem, agitate the problem, right? Tell them what the available solutions are and then remind them why yours is the best. That content resonates so much better with that audience that now you're 2 months ahead of your competitors even being considered. You've captured their attention. If you have quality information available for them, you will then have loyalty where they're going to brag about it to all their friends because they're going to sound like the experts themselves. And if you have in your email onboarding experiences, side note, you all have onboarding welcome series. If you can do a slight tweak to your onboarding series, we found much stronger click-through rates comparing side by side when you make like little mini tweaks. Again, speaking to you're early in your discovery phase, we get that. We're not here to like pressure you. This isn't like, hi, nice to meet you, let's get married. You're talking to them in a relevant space, like, hi, nice to meet you, what are you interested in? Tell me where you went to school. Tell me, are you dogs or cats people? Tell me why Lauren's so much funnier than Qasim. That kind of stuff is way more relevant than if you're just going direct for the, hey, nice to meet you, let's get married, I want to sleep together on the first date. We know this to be true about all social media platforms, but it's never more apparent than Pinterest where there's 6 to 9 weeks minimum out. So the compounding effect from Pinterest traffic for subscriber customer acquisition is when they buy, their friends buy, and then you just win with all these new customers that you didn't have to pay for with paid ads because it was all achieved organically. But paid ads is an element of it. So in the customer acquisition, you can definitely get new subscribers and customers organically. But it's so much better when you can predict how often they're going to come to you. And as I said at the beginning, CPMs are 65 cents to $2. You're paying more for video views than we're paying for CPMs on conversion-based ads. So Pinterest is here to make you money. We are all here to get an ROI. Your CPMs for your retargeting audience, going back to you have 1,500 bajillion touch points. If you pay attention to Qasim, which we know he always lies because everyone lies in their marketing, right? You said that. Everyone lies in marketing. Isn't that how you started your presentation? That's a lie? Yeah, exactly. So you have like 500 touch points at sometimes. You can retarget and connect to your audience on Pinterest because your competitors aren't. You have the ability to get in front of them in a visual way that tells a story. We know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So why are you only retargeting them with text ads? You also have the ability to do rich pins, and you have video-based content. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,500 more. You also have ROAS, which can be 30% stronger when you're leveraging Pinterest, especially if you're in the obvious spaces, because if you're in the obvious audiences and clients, brand services that should be on Pinterest and you're not, well, there's a bell, there's shame. But that's okay, you came to my presentation and you know better, ideally. But then also, I can't read that far. Your organic content, you can track the impact of your content. You can see the sales directly related to your organic content. You've been able to do this for years with Pinterest. We're all excited about TikTok Shops and how much content that they're showing of like trackable revenue to organic content. That's only been around since September. This has been around for a lot longer, so you can see content that you made years ago still generating sales, still generating downloads for your brands. And then it allows you, again, to get ahead of your competition before they're even being considered. It's a great chance for you to make a great return on your investment. And then just more proof examples, because telling is so boring, and showing is where I'm not lying. Here you can see, I went too fast. Okay, it's okay, you have the slides. If you paid for the replays, you obviously get all of this jazz, and you can see all the punny jokes I made towards Kasim. Here you can see with Matches Data, 42% return on ad spend with an increase in average order value by leveraging Pinterest. And this is just an example of what happened within 10 days of launching Pinterest Analytics for this client. 2 times revenue delivered from Pinterest year over year. All of this comes directly from Pinterest, by the way. You can see all of the URLs that are directly connected on the slides that you will get. If you're still not comprehending that Pinterest is powerful, well, you came to the wrong breakout room. I'm sorry. But if you want more stats, as I've said, it is a very leveraged platform, 15th most used in the world. 45% of all users are making over $100,000. You can see the impact of how much they're still growing. Pinterest is not irrelevant. You may think it is, or you don't use it, but look, it's still growing. It's the largest visual search engine in the US, and the purchase rate and project start rate, as I said earlier, I said 90, sorry, it's 85%. This is where you can fact check me. But unbranded searches for 97% gives you so much opportunity, especially if you're a small business brand, to compete in a space where all of these juggernauts aren't even making the effort that you are making everywhere else. So 10% more of your effort to bring your content to Pinterest can allow you ridiculous 4,000, 6,000% returns on visibility to your brand and traffic to your website. So going through what we had talked about, wrapping everything up, you can't mess it up if you follow these basic rules, which is if you're doing traffic, bringing traffic to your website, be consistent. Don't show up with 200 posts and then disappear. No one wants to be ghosted at all, but you want to be consistent, and they're going to be providing value for those customers, and they will reward you. Not just the consumers, but Pinterest directly. Went too fast. For a subscriber, don't be a butthead. Be relevant. Provide something that makes sense to where they are. Agitate the problem so much so that they're like, oh, this is what I'm struggling with. This is the solution that makes sense for me. And then for your customer acquisition, stop wasting money on cold audiences when you have this huge treasure trove of retargeting opportunities within Pinterest. Obviously, everything I'm saying is applied to all socials. We're all smart marketers. We know how this works. Leveraging this strategy and doing this well makes sense. You retarget your folks everywhere. But this is how we specifically have been doing it for our clients at Mongoose Media, and it's been working fabulously well. So 3 learnings I hope that you have taken away from this, besides I'm much funnier than Kasim, is that Pinterest can bring you an avalanche of traffic. It's a really low amount of effort where you can take your existing post, even if you don't repurpose it to the correct Pinterest size, which is a 1x3, and keep it as a square, keep it as whatever you provide, you are still going to get a lot of attention to your brand, products, or services. And then with the specific provided formula and all of the verbatim templates, everything that our team does with our SOPs and what we literally give to our team is available in the next slide. So if you snag that starter kit here, you can get all of that fancy jazz. And again, if you're not doing it now, it's okay. This is a safe space. But if I find you in a year and you're not doing it, hide from me because I will not be nice. It's really low amount of effort to get a maximum amount of return for your organic efforts. And then when you pair it in with your paid advertising, you are going to be spending less on conversion-based ads than you are spending on your video views campaigns elsewhere. So if this was moderately interesting, would love to be friends. Our socials are Mongoose Media, or you can connect directly with me, Lauren E. Petrullo. If you have any other questions, my email is lauren@mongoosemedia.us. I know this was a lot. I wanted to provide time for quick questions, but there's 4 seconds left, so I'm really, really, really proud of myself. You had a quick question. Yes? I'm not seeing the red. How much an impact B2B businesses will have from a B2C? The B2B space specifically doesn't have a lot of attention. So if you have a high ticket offer, if you're doing lead gen, the B2B space, you're gonna see much higher returns much quicker because there's a desert of content. So in the slides, if you go back to somewhere you watch the replay, or in the starter kit, there's a lot of B2B examples specifically. But you'll able to get in front of folks, generate marketing qualified leads because you're providing an outlet for the existing content you're already providing probably on LinkedIn. And if you go to Joshua's session later, by the way, he specifically talks about LinkedIn, and he said that he's been pinning his LinkedIn posts and taking that B2B specific content, bringing it on Pinterest in a relatively lazy way for you to really make sure that you're connecting with those B2B audiences because you get to surprise them. They're looking for those solutions. You can type in your specific product or service, and then you'll see what are the relevant searches people are actually looking for. But you have, because you're in a non-obvious space of B2B, it's gonna be easier for you to swipe up more attention than the obvious wedding and food and recipe planning folks. Yeah. Oh, no. Yes. It's also, if you go to mongoosemedia.us/TCS24, Traffic Conversion Summit 24, you can also get it in case QR codes are being silly. But you have more questions. I totally want to give you more questions. It is flashing red, and I get to go on the Wicked Smart panel. Oh yeah, by the way, the giveaway, thank you, Claire. Claire and Sammy are the 2 people that work for me. They're up front. They're choosing randomly the person who's gonna get 3 months of totally done for you services. So if you want it, make sure that you engage on the socials and be nice to them because they're choosing, I am not. And I can definitely answer any and all questions. If I don't get to it today after Wicked Smart, lauren@mongoosemedia.us is my direct email address. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the shittiest presentation.
Let's give it up for Lauren Petrullo, everyone.